If you've been feeling that something is different, if repeated numbers appear constantly, if thoughts about change wake you up at dawn, the universe isn't playing with you, it's preparing you. Napoleon Hill dedicated his life to decoding these signs, and what you're about to discover in the next few minutes could be the turning point you've been waiting for. Don't leave. Every second counts, and there's something specific I need to show you at the end of this video. Take a deep breath, because your life is about to make sense in a way you never imagined. There are moments in life when you feel something before you understand it. A quiet whisper, almost imperceptible, that says, "Pay attention." It's not anxiety. It's not fear. It's recognition. The universe has a language of its own, and when it decides to speak directly to you, it doesn't scream, it signals. And those who learn to read these signals position themselves at the exact point where transformation happens. Napoleon Hill taught that success isn't random. Prosperity doesn't fall from the sky into the hands of the lucky. There's an invisible intelligence orchestrating opportunities, aligning circumstances, and preparing paths. But here's what most people don't understand. This intelligence only reveals itself to those who have learned to recognize its signs. The universe shows you that you're ready before you feel ready. And if you've been noticing patterns, synchronicities, or repeated situations lately, this isn't coincidence, it's coordination. Most people live their entire lives ignoring the signals. They ask for change, pray for opportunities, beg for transformation. But when the universe begins to respond, they're so distracted by noise, so trapped in old routines, so anchored to fear that they simply don't see what's being shown. And here's the painful truth. The universe doesn't insist. It signals once, twice, maybe 3 times. After that, it moves to someone who's paying attention. But you're here, and that already means something. Because one of the first signs that your life is about to change is the unexplainable pull towards specific information. You don't search for it consciously. It finds you. A video that appears at the right time, a conversation that touches something deep, a phrase that seems written exactly for you. Napoleon Hill called this the readiness frequency. When your internal consciousness aligns with a new level of existence, the external world begins to reflect that frequency, and you start attracting exactly what you need to hear, see, and learn. Now here's what you need to understand clearly. There are 3 primary signs that the universe uses to communicate that your life is about to transform. And if you've experienced at least one of these in recent weeks, pay close attention to what I'm about to reveal. The first sign is numerical repetition. You start seeing the same numbers everywhere. 11, 11, 3, 33, 4, 44. Not occasionally, constantly. On clocks, license plates, receipts, random screens. Your rational mind tries to explain it as coincidence, but something inside you knows it's more than that. And you're right. Napoleon Hill studied this phenomenon deeply and discovered something fascinating. The human mind operates on frequencies. When you're vibrating at a frequency of transformation, your perception sharpens. You begin noticing what was always there, but invisible to your previous state of consciousness. Repeated numbers aren't messages from the universe in the literal sense. They're confirmation that you're tuned to a new channel. It's as if the universe is saying, "I see you, you're aligned. Keep going." The second sign is discomfort with the present, not depression, not despair, but a clear feeling that where you are no longer fits who you're becoming. Relationships that once made sense start feeling empty. Work that once satisfied now feels limiting. Routines that once brought comfort now bring restlessness. This isn't ingratitude, it's evolution. Napoleon Hill taught that the soul expands before circumstances change. You feel the change internally before seeing it externally. And this discomfort isn't a problem to solve, it's a signal to respect. It means your internal identity is already operating at a new level, and the external world hasn't caught up yet. The mistake most people make is trying to force the old to fit the new. They try to adapt, negotiate, diminish themselves to avoid discomfort. But the wise person understands, this discomfort is sacred. It's the universe pushing you out of the nest so you can finally fly. The third sign, and this is the one most people miss, is the intensification of intuition. You start knowing things without knowing how you know. A voice inside tells you to take a different route, and you later discover you avoided an accident. An impulse tells you to call someone, and that person was exactly thinking about you. A feeling warns you about a situation, and everything unfolds exactly as you sensed. This isn't magic. It's frequency. Napoleon Hill taught that there's a field of universal intelligence that we're all connected to, but most people are so trapped in mental noise, so dominated by fear and anxiety, that they can't access it. When your consciousness begins to clear, when you start mastering your thoughts instead of being enslaved by them, you gain access to information that transcends logic. Your intuition sharpens, and the universe begins to guide you with precision that defies rational explanation. If you've experienced any of these three signs, understand this clearly. You're not imagining things. You're not going crazy. You're waking up. And the universe is confirming that you're ready for what's coming. But here's the critical detail that Napoleon Hill always emphasized. Recognizing the signs is only the first step. What you do after recognizing them determines whether transformation actually happens or if you remain at the same level, just more aware of your own stagnation. Because the truth is this: many people see the signs and do nothing. They feel the discomfort and stay anyway. They notice the patterns and ignore them. They hear intuition and choose fear. And the universe doesn't force anyone. It only opens doors for those who have the courage to walk through them. The great tragedy isn't not seeing the signs. It's seeing them and choosing to remain the same. So let's go deeper. Let's understand not just what the signs mean, but why they appear exactly when they appear. Because there's a hidden mechanism here, a universal law that governs the timing of transformation. And Napoleon Hill spent decades studying this law until he decoded it completely. The universe operates on cycles. Everything in nature follows patterns, seasons, tides, day and night. And your life is no different. There are moments of planting, moments of growth, moments of harvest, and moments of rest. Most people don't respect these cycles. They want to harvest when they should be planting. They want immediate results when they should be building foundation. And because of this, they constantly fight against the natural flow of life. They exhaust themselves, they frustrate themselves, and they blame the universe for not responding when, in reality, they're simply out of sync with their own timing. Napoleon Hill taught that there's a specific moment when all forces align. He called it the ripeness point. It's when your internal preparation meets external opportunity. It's when your consciousness matches the frequency of what you desire. It's when the universe no longer needs to prepare you, because you're finally ready. And when you reach this point, everything changes. Not because you're forcing it, but because you've become inevitable. The signs appear precisely when you're approaching this ripeness point. They're not random, they're strategic. The universe is saying, you're almost there, stay alert, stay aligned. What you've been building in silence is about to become visible. But here's what most people don't realize. The ripeness point demands something specific from you. It doesn't just demand desire, it doesn't just demand faith, it demands congruence. Congruence is the alignment between what you think, what you feel, what you say, and what you do. It's internal integrity, and this is where most people fail. They say they want change, but their daily habits prove they want comfort. They claim they're ready for the next level, but their choices keep them at the current level. They declare faith, but their actions reveal doubt. The universe doesn't respond to your words. It responds to your frequency. And your frequency is determined by your consistency. Napoleon Hill discovered something profound. The universe tests you before elevating you, not with grand challenges, but with small choices. Do you wake up with discipline or with excuses? Do you keep your word even when no one's watching? Do you choose what builds you or what temporarily comforts you? Every small choice is a vote for the identity you're constructing, and the universe observes. When it sees that you're serious, when it confirms that you're not just talking but actually transforming, it opens floodgates. Opportunities multiply, connections appear, resources materialize. What seemed impossible becomes inevitable. But until you prove congruence, the signs will continue appearing as warnings, not confirmations. They'll say, you're close, but not ready yet. And this is mercy, not punishment, because receiving what you're not prepared to sustain is worse than not receiving at all. The universe protects you from premature victories that would destroy you. So here's the question you need to ask yourself right now. Am I truly aligned with what I say I want? Or am I still negotiating with old versions of myself? Because transformation doesn't happen in the mind. It happens in daily action. It happens in small choices that no one sees. It happens in the discipline you maintain when motivation disappears. The signs the universe shows you are invitations. But invitation isn't guarantee. You still need to respond. You still need to choose. You still need to act. And this brings us to something crucial that we need to address before going further. There's a reason why some people see the signs and transform completely, while others see the same signs and remain exactly where they are. The difference isn't in the signs, it's in how they interpret what they're seeing. Napoleon Hill taught that the mind filters reality based on dominant beliefs. Two people can experience the same event and extract completely different meanings. One sees opportunity, the other sees threat. One sees confirmation, the other sees coincidence. What determines the difference? The quality of consciousness observing the event. If your consciousness operates on scarcity, you'll interpret signs as temporary relief before the next problem. If your consciousness operates on victimhood, you'll see signs as false hope that will inevitably disappoint. If your consciousness operates on unworthiness, you'll sabotage yourself before the transformation even completes. But if your consciousness operates on abundance, faith, and deservingness, every sign becomes fuel. Every synchronicity becomes confirmation. Every small victory becomes momentum for the next level. This is why Napoleon Hill insisted so much on mental discipline, not positive thinking for its own sake, but the rigorous practice of choosing thoughts that serve your evolution instead of thoughts that justify your stagnation. The mind is the filter through which the universe reaches you. If the filter is dirty, distorted, or clogged with old traumas and limiting beliefs, even the clearest signs will be misinterpreted. Cleaning this filter isn't optional, it's essential. And the work isn't mystical, it's practical, it's daily. It's choosing to challenge every thought that tells you it's not for you. It's refusing every internal narrative that says you're not ready. It's rejecting every belief that keeps you small. The universe shows you signs, but you determine what those signs mean through the lens you use to observe them. So before we move to the next level of understanding, before I reveal the specific mechanism of how synchronicity works and how you can amplify it exponentially, you need to make a decision right now. Will you commit to cleaning your internal filter? Will you commit to questioning every limiting belief? Will you commit to choosing thoughts that align with transformation instead of thoughts that justify staying the same? Because what comes next is powerful. But power without preparation is dangerous, and Napoleon Hill knew this better than anyone. Now that you understand the signs exist and why they appear, let's go deeper into something that will change how you see reality forever. We're entering the science of synchronicity, and when you understand this mechanism, when you truly grasp how the universe coordinates events, you'll never see your life the same way again. Napoleon Hill called this the invisible architecture of destiny. It's not magic, it's not fantasy. It's a precise law that operates whether you believe in it or not. But those who learn to work with it consciously multiply their results exponentially. Let me explain something that most people never realize. The universe doesn't create new opportunities for you. It reveals opportunities that already exist. Everything you need is already here, already available, already waiting. But most people can't see it because they're tuned to the wrong frequency. Think of it like a radio. All stations are broadcasting simultaneously, but you only hear the station you're tuned to. When you change frequency, you don't create new music. You access music that was already playing. Your consciousness works the same way. Napoleon Hill discovered this through decades of studying successful people. He interviewed hundreds of individuals who achieved extraordinary results, and he found a pattern. They all operated on a different frequency than average people. They didn't work harder necessarily. They didn't have better circumstances initially, but they had something else. They had learned to tune their consciousness to the frequency of opportunity, and once tuned, they began seeing what others missed. Connections that seemed like luck, timing that seemed like coincidence, resources that seemed to appear from nowhere. But it wasn't luck. It was alignment. Here's how synchronicity actually works. Your dominant thoughts, emotions, and beliefs create an energetic signature. This signature acts like a magnet, attracting circumstances that match it. If your dominant frequency is fear, you'll attract situations that confirm your fears. If your dominant frequency is scarcity, you'll attract evidence of scarcity. If your dominant frequency is unworthiness, opportunities will pass you by even when they're right in front of you. Not because the universe is punishing you, but because you literally cannot see what doesn't match your frequency. Your perception filters out what your consciousness isn't prepared to receive. But when you shift your dominant frequency to faith, abundance, and readiness, something remarkable happens. You start noticing things you never noticed before. A conversation that leads to an introduction, a book that appears at the perfect moment, an impulse that guides you to the right place at the right time. People call this coincidence. Napoleon Hill called it coordination. The universe coordinating visible reality to match your invisible frequency. Now pay very close attention, because this is where most people get it wrong. They think positive thinking alone changes their frequency. They repeat affirmations, they visualize, they pray, and nothing changes. Why? Because frequency isn't determined by what you say. It's determined by what you truly believe at the deepest level. You can say, "I am abundant," 1,000 times. But if your core belief is, "I'm not worthy," your frequency broadcasts unworthiness. And the universe responds to frequency, not words. This is why Napoleon Hill insisted so much on the concept of burning desire backed by definite plans. He understood that transformation requires more than wishful thinking. It requires rewiring your fundamental beliefs through consistent action. Every time you act in alignment with your desired reality, even when your emotions resist, you're sending a new signal. You're telling the universe, "I'm serious. I'm not just talking, I'm becoming." And the universe responds to demonstration, not declaration. Here's a practical example of how this works. Imagine someone who wants financial abundance but operates from scarcity consciousness. They see a business opportunity, and their first thought is, "I can't afford it." They meet someone successful and feel intimidated instead of inspired. They receive money and immediately worry about losing it. Every thought, every reaction, every choice broadcasts scarcity, and the universe, operating on the law of matching frequency, delivers more circumstances that confirm scarcity. Not because the universe is against them, but because the universe is perfectly obedient to the frequency they're broadcasting. Now imagine someone who has shifted to abundance consciousness. They see the same opportunity and think, "How can I make this work?" They meet someone successful and feel curious about their methods. They receive money and feel gratitude while planning intelligent expansion. Every thought, reaction, and choice broadcasts abundance. And the universe delivers circumstances that match, unexpected opportunities, helpful connections, perfect timing. Same external world, different frequency, completely different results. Napoleon Hill taught that most people have this backwards. They wait for circumstances to change before they change their frequency. They say, "I'll feel abundant when I have money." But the law doesn't work that way. You must shift frequency first. You must operate from the end result before the end result manifests. This isn't pretending. This isn't denial. It's understanding that external reality is always a reflection of internal frequency. Change the frequency, and the reflection must change. It's law, not hope. So how do you actually shift frequency? Because this is the practical question everyone asks, and Napoleon Hill provided specific methods that work when applied consistently. First, you must become aware of your current frequency. Most people broadcast unconsciously. They react automatically based on old programming. The first step is consciousness. Start observing your thoughts without judgment. Notice the patterns. Notice what you think when opportunity appears. Notice your automatic reactions to challenges. Notice the internal narrative that runs constantly in the background. You can't change what you're not aware of. Second, you must challenge limiting beliefs with evidence. Your mind believes what it repeatedly sees. If you believe good things don't happen to me, your mind will filter reality to confirm that belief. You'll dismiss positive events as flukes and magnify negative events as proof. But you can reverse this. Start deliberately collecting evidence of the opposite. Keep a daily log of every positive occurrence, every small victory, every moment things worked out. Train your mind to notice what it's been filtering out. Over time, your belief system shifts because you're feeding it new data. Third, you must act as if you already are what you're becoming. This is the most powerful frequency shifter Napoleon Hill ever taught. Your mind cannot distinguish between vividly imagined experience and actual experience. When you act with the confidence, decision-making, and posture of someone who has already achieved what you desire, your frequency shifts immediately. Not fake it till you make it, but become it until it manifests. There's a difference. One is performance, the other is transformation. Fourth, protect your frequency fiercely. The world will constantly try to pull you back to old frequencies. News broadcasting fear, people sharing negativity, circumstances triggering doubt. You must become selective about what you allow into your consciousness. This isn't about avoiding reality. It's about choosing what reality you give power to. Napoleon Hill surrounded himself with people who operated on success frequency. He consumed information that elevated his consciousness. He protected his mental environment like a sacred space. And this protection is mandatory, not optional. You cannot maintain new frequency while exposing yourself to old patterns constantly. Fifth, use emotional rehearsal. Emotion is the language of frequency. You can think abundance, but if you feel scarcity, frequency broadcasts scarcity. Napoleon Hill taught specific visualization practices where you don't just see the desired outcome, but feel it completely. Spend time each day sitting in silence, closing your eyes, and experiencing the feeling of your desired reality as if it already exists. Feel the relief, the joy, the peace, the power. Let that emotion saturate your entire being. When you rise from that practice, carry that feeling into your day. Make decisions from that feeling, act from that feeling, and watch how circumstances begin to shift. Now here's something profound that Napoleon Hill discovered, and few people understand. Synchronicity accelerates when you're in motion. The universe can't coordinate circumstances for someone sitting still. Opportunity requires intersection. Intersection requires movement. If you're waiting for perfect clarity before taking action, you'll wait forever. The universe reveals the next step when you take the current step. It's like driving at night. Your headlights only illuminate a certain distance. But as you drive, the road keeps revealing itself. Faith isn't knowing the entire path. Faith is taking the next step, even when you can't see the full journey. People who experience constant synchronicity aren't luckier. They're in motion. They're taking action even with uncertainty. And because they're moving, they create points of intersection where the universe can coordinate events. A conversation happens because they showed up. An opportunity appears because they were in position. A connection forms because they took initiative. Synchronicity loves action. Stagnation creates nothing to coordinate. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Napoleon Hill taught that there's a collective field of consciousness that we all tap into. He called it infinite intelligence. Modern science calls it the quantum field. Whatever name you use, the principle is the same. There's an invisible network connecting all consciousness. And when you operate on a frequency of creation, abundance, and purpose, you tap into this field. You gain access to ideas, insights, and intuition that transcend your individual knowledge. You start knowing things you never learned, receiving solutions to problems you couldn't solve alone. This isn't supernatural. It's natural law being used consciously. Some of the greatest inventions, discoveries, and breakthroughs came through this mechanism. Napoleon Hill documented countless examples of people who received complete solutions in dreams, sudden insights during meditation, or unexpected clarity in moments of stillness. They weren't geniuses with superhuman intelligence. They were individuals who learned to quiet their mental noise enough to receive transmission from infinite intelligence. And this ability isn't reserved for special people. It's available to anyone who develops the discipline to access it. So how do you access this field? Through silence, through stillness, through meditation or contemplation. Create daily space where you disconnect from external noise and turn inward. In that silence, pose questions to the universe, not desperate begging. Calm inquiry. What do I need to know? What's my next step? How do I solve this? Then release the question and wait in receptive stillness. The answer may come immediately as a thought. It may come later as sudden insight. It may come through someone else's words, but it will come. The universe always answers those who learn to listen. Napoleon Hill practiced this daily. He would sit in silence, connect with infinite intelligence, and pose questions about his work, his direction, his challenges. And he received clarity that guided decades of successful teaching. He didn't consider this mystical or strange. He considered it practical and essential, like tuning a radio to receive clear signal. Most people's minds are so cluttered with noise that they can't receive transmission, but those who create internal silence access wisdom beyond their individual capacity. Now let's talk about something that prevents most people from experiencing synchronicity even when they're doing everything else right: attachment to specific outcomes. They want synchronicity to manifest exactly as they imagine. They pray for a specific job, a specific relationship, a specific amount of money, and when the universe delivers something different, they miss it completely. They're so focused on their limited vision that they can't see the expanded possibility the universe is offering. Napoleon Hill taught definiteness of purpose, but also flexibility in method. Be crystal clear about what you want to create in your life, but don't dictate how it must happen. The universe has resources, connections, and timing that you can't possibly see from your current position. When you demand specific pathways, you block better pathways. When you remain open to unexpected routes, you allow the universe to orchestrate optimal timing. Trust the what, release the how. This is the balance between intention and surrender. Here's a truth that will liberate you. Every no is redirection toward a better yes. Every closed door is protection from a wrong room. Every delay is preparation for perfect timing. But you only recognize this when you stop fighting the flow. Most people exhaust themselves trying to force doors that won't open, while missing doors swinging wide beside them. Synchronicity requires trust. Trust that the universe sees what you can't. Trust that timing is intelligent. Trust that even apparent setbacks are setups for something better. This doesn't mean passive acceptance. It means active faith. You take inspired action. You move with purpose. You build with discipline. But you remain flexible about the exact form results take. You stay committed to the vision while adaptable in the journey. And this flexibility is what allows the universe to surprise you with outcomes better than you imagined. Napoleon Hill experienced this countless times. Opportunities that seemed like failures initially became the foundation for greater success later. Rejections that felt devastating opened pathways to better destinations. But he only recognized this because he trained himself to see with expanded vision. So right now, if you're experiencing delays, obstacles, or doors closing, pause before interpreting it as failure. Ask instead, what is this protecting me from? Or what am I being redirected toward? Shift from resistance to curiosity, because the universe never blocks without redirecting, never closes without opening somewhere else. But you must be paying attention. You must be willing to release your limited plan to receive the universe's expanded plan. And this brings us to the most important element of synchronicity that we haven't discussed yet: energetic contribution. Most people approach the universe with a taking mentality. What can I get? When will it come? Why don't I have it yet? But synchronicity operates on circulation, not accumulation. The more you give, the more circulates back, not transactionally, energetically. When you contribute value, help others, share knowledge, and operate from generosity, you create energetic momentum. The universe responds to those who understand they're part of a larger flow, not isolated individuals hoarding resources. Napoleon Hill discovered this principle through the concept of going the extra mile. Do more than you're paid for. Give more than expected. Serve beyond obligation, not from martyrdom, from understanding that contribution creates circulation. And circulation creates synchronicity. The person who only takes creates stagnation. The person who gives generously creates flow. And flow attracts opportunity, like rivers attract life. This is why successful people often say, the more I give, the more I receive. It's not karma, it's not luck, it's energetic law. Contribution shifts frequency from scarcity to abundance. When you operate from, I have enough to share, you broadcast abundance. And the universe matches that frequency with more abundance. But when you operate from, I need to protect what little I have, you broadcast scarcity. And scarcity is what returns. Your relationship with giving reveals your relationship with receiving. And the universe knows the difference, so examine your life right now. Are you contributing or just consuming? Are you adding value or just taking space? Are you helping others rise or only focused on your own climb? The answers reveal your current frequency, and your current frequency reveals what's coming. If you want to experience explosive synchronicity, become someone who contributes generously. Share your knowledge, help others succeed, give without keeping score, and watch how the universe coordinates circumstances you couldn't orchestrate alone. Everything we've discussed in this block is preparation. Understanding how synchronicity works, how frequency operates, how the universe coordinates based on your internal state. But understanding alone changes nothing. Napoleon Hill was adamant about this. Knowledge without application is worthless. You must take what you now understand and translate it into daily practice, because the universe doesn't respond to what you know. It responds to what you do with what you know. And what you're about to discover next will give you the exact framework for translating these principles into measurable transformation. Now we arrive at the critical phase. You've recognized the signs. You understand how synchronicity operates. But here's where most people stumble. They know what to do, but they don't do it consistently. They understand the principles, but they don't build the structure. And without structure, knowledge evaporates. Without discipline, insight becomes just another forgotten conversation. Napoleon Hill spent years watching people fail, not because they lacked information, but because they lacked implementation. So what we're building now is your preparation architecture. The 5 pillars that transform understanding into manifestation. The first pillar is mental clarity. You cannot build on confusion. You cannot manifest through fog. The mind must be sharp, focused, and clear about what it's creating. Most people live in mental chaos. 1,000 thoughts competing for attention, worries about yesterday, anxieties about tomorrow, distractions about nothing important. And in this chaos, they wonder why transformation doesn't happen. Napoleon Hill taught that a cluttered mind repels opportunity. It cannot recognize signs, it cannot receive intuition, it cannot sustain focus long enough to build anything significant. So mental clarity isn't optional, it's foundational. And achieving it requires daily practice. Start each morning with a ritual of mental organization. Before looking at your phone, before engaging with external demands, sit in silence for 10 minutes. Close your eyes, take deep, slow breaths, and mentally clear the space. Visualize your mind as a room. Remove the clutter, open the windows, let light enter. Then, with that clarity, ask yourself 3 questions. What is my primary focus today? What actions align with my highest vision? What must I protect my energy from today? Write the answers. Carry them with you. This ritual creates mental architecture where transformation can build. But mental clarity isn't just morning practice. It's constant vigilance throughout the day. Every time you notice your mind spiraling into worry, stop. Take 3 conscious breaths. Return to present moment. Every time you feel overwhelmed by options, stop. Identify the one thing that matters most. Focus there. Every time distraction pulls you away from important work, notice it without judgment and redirect. Mental clarity is a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. And a clear mind sees opportunities that a scattered mind misses entirely. The second pillar is emotional sovereignty. You must master your emotional state instead of being mastered by it. Most people are emotional slaves. Their mood determines their actions. They feel motivated, they move, they feel discouraged, they stop. They feel confident, they take risks, they feel afraid, they retreat, and their entire life becomes a reaction to fluctuating emotions that they never learned to govern. Napoleon Hill discovered that successful people operate differently. They don't wait for emotions to align. They act regardless of emotional state. They understand that emotion follows action more often than action follows emotion. Here's what this means practically. You will not always feel like doing what needs to be done. You will not always feel confident, motivated, or inspired. And if you only act when feelings are favorable, you will accomplish very little. Emotional sovereignty means you acknowledge the feeling without obeying it. You feel fear and act anyway. You feel doubt and proceed anyway. You feel resistance and push through anyway, not by suppressing emotion, but by recognizing that emotion is information, not instruction. It tells you something about your internal state, but it doesn't dictate your external action. Napoleon Hill taught specific practices for emotional sovereignty. When negative emotion arises, pause before reacting. Name the emotion clearly. This is fear. This is doubt. This is anger. Naming creates separation. You are not the emotion. You are the one observing the emotion. Then ask, is this emotion based on present reality or old programming? Most negative emotions are echoes from the past, not responses to the present. Once you recognize this, the emotion loses power. You can choose a different response. You can act from wisdom instead of reaction. Another practice, cultivate emotional baselines. Instead of allowing external circumstances to determine your internal state, establish a chosen baseline. Decide what emotional frequency you will maintain regardless of circumstances. Peace, confidence, gratitude, determination. Whatever you choose, commit to returning to that baseline throughout the day. Circumstances will try to pull you away. Return to baseline. People will try to disturb your peace. Return to baseline. Challenges will trigger doubt. Return to baseline. Over time, this practice creates unshakable emotional stability. And from that stability, you make decisions that serve your highest vision instead of decisions that temporarily relieve discomfort. The third pillar is energetic discipline. Your energy is your most valuable resource, more valuable than time, more valuable than money. Because without energy, time is wasted and money cannot be earned. Yet most people give their energy away carelessly, to drama, to negativity, to relationships that drain, to activities that deplete. And then they wonder why they can't manifest their desires. You cannot create from exhaustion. You cannot transform from depletion. Napoleon Hill observed that high achievers guard their energy with fierce discipline. They understand that every person, every environment, every activity either adds to their energy or subtracts from it, and they make ruthless decisions to protect their energetic resources. This requires honest assessment. Look at your relationships. Who leaves you feeling elevated after interaction? Who leaves you feeling drained? This doesn't make anyone bad, but it reveals energetic compatibility. You must spend more time with people who add energy and less time with people who subtract it. Look at your environment. Does your physical space inspire you or depress you? Clean it, organize it, create beauty in your immediate surroundings. Small changes in environment create significant changes in energy. Look at your media consumption. What are you feeding your consciousness? News designed to provoke fear? Social media designed to trigger comparison? Entertainment that numbs instead of inspires? Audit everything you consume and eliminate what depletes you. But energetic discipline isn't just about protection, it's also about generation. You must actively create energy through practices that restore and elevate you. Physical movement. Exercise isn't optional if you want transformation. The body generates energy through motion. A sedentary body becomes a stagnant mind. Move daily. not punishment. Celebration of what your body can do. Nourishment. What you eat directly affects your energetic capacity. Heavy, processed foods create sluggishness. Clean, whole foods create vitality. You don't need perfection. You need awareness and consistent better choices. Rest. High performers don't sacrifice sleep to achieve more. They prioritize sleep because they understand that rest multiplies productivity. 7 to 8 hours minimum, non-negotiable. Your transformation depends on your energy, and your energy depends on how seriously you take these fundamentals. The fourth pillar is aligned action. This is where everything crystallizes. You can have mental clarity, emotional sovereignty, and energetic discipline, but without action aligned with your vision, nothing manifests. And here's the trap most people fall into. They take action, but it's misaligned. Busy, but not productive. Moving, but not progressing. Napoleon Hill emphasized definiteness of purpose because action without clear direction is just exhaustion. You must know exactly what you're building, and every action must serve that construction. Aligned action starts with one question every morning. What is the one action today that will move me closest to my vision? Not 10 things, one thing, the most important thing. And you do that first, before email, before meetings, before anything else. This practice alone will transform your results within weeks, because most people spend their days reacting to urgency instead of building importance. They handle what screams for attention instead of what truly matters. And weeks become months, become years with no real progress despite constant busyness. But aligned action requires something difficult. Saying no. No to opportunities that don't serve your vision. No to requests that drain your focus. No to activities that feel good but build nothing. Napoleon Hill taught that every yes to something misaligned is a no to something aligned. Your time and energy are finite. If they're consumed by the wrong things, they're unavailable for the right things. Learn to say no without guilt, not from selfishness, from clarity. That doesn't align with my current direction is a complete sentence. Protect your focus, guard your time, honor your vision above social comfort. Another element of aligned action, completion. Start less, finish more. The world is full of people with half-built projects and abandoned goals. They start with enthusiasm and quit when difficulty appears. Napoleon Hill observed that completion creates momentum. Every finished project, no matter how small, builds confidence and energy for the next. But unfinished projects create psychological weight. They drain energy even when you're not working on them. So, become someone who finishes. Choose fewer projects, but complete them fully. This practice alone distinguishes you from most people who scatter their energy across a dozen incomplete efforts. The fifth pillar is spiritual connection. This is the foundation underneath all other pillars. Without it, everything else becomes mechanical effort that eventually exhausts you. Napoleon Hill taught that humans are spiritual beings having a physical experience, not physical beings having occasional spiritual moments. And when you disconnect from your spiritual source, you lose access to the infinite power that sustains transformation. This isn't about religion. It's about relationship with something greater than yourself. Call it universe, God, infinite intelligence, higher self or source. The name doesn't matter. The connection does. Spiritual connection means daily practice of remembering you're not alone. You're not figuring this out through individual effort. You're partnering with intelligence that orchestrates galaxies, coordinates seasons, and maintains every natural system with perfect precision. That same intelligence is available to guide your life when you create space to receive its guidance. And that space is created through practices like prayer, meditation, contemplation, or simply sitting in nature with receptive awareness. The specific practice matters less than the consistency of practice. Napoleon Hill started and ended every day with spiritual connection. Morning, setting intention and asking for guidance. Evening, expressing gratitude and releasing the day. This practice kept him aligned with purpose even through decades of challenges and setbacks. He didn't pray from desperation. He communed from partnership. He didn't beg for outcomes. He aligned with divine intelligence and trusted the unfolding. And this relationship sustained him when external circumstances seemed impossible. Here's what spiritual connection provides that nothing else can: perspective. When you're connected to something infinite, temporary problems lose their power to devastate you. You see challenges as part of a larger unfolding instead of personal attacks. You trust timing instead of forcing outcomes. You maintain peace in chaos because you know you're held by something greater. This doesn't make you passive. It makes you powerful, because you act from peace instead of panic, from trust instead of desperation, from knowing instead of hoping. Now, these 5 pillars work together. Mental clarity allows you to recognize what matters. Emotional sovereignty allows you to act regardless of feelings. Energetic discipline provides fuel for consistent action. Aligned action builds tangible results. Spiritual connection sustains everything through challenges. You cannot skip any pillar. They're not sequential. They're simultaneous. You work on all 5 daily. And over time, they solidify into unshakable foundation for transformation. But here's what Napoleon Hill discovered that most teachers miss. These pillars are not the destination. They're preparation. They're the internal structure that allows you to receive and sustain what you're calling into your life. Because the universe will not deliver what you're not prepared to handle. It will not give responsibility to someone who lacks discipline. It will not give wealth to someone who hasn't mastered stewardship. It will not give influence to someone who hasn't developed character. The waiting period is not punishment, it's preparation. And these 5 pillars are what you build during the preparation phase. So if you're in a season where nothing seems to be moving externally, don't despair. Focus on these pillars internally. Because the moment your internal structure solidifies, external opportunities multiply. The universe is always watching, always testing, always confirming whether you're ready. And readiness is proven not by what you say, but by how you live when no one's watching. How you treat your mind, how you govern your emotions, how you manage your energy, how you direct your actions, how you maintain your spiritual connection. These are the tests. And passing them opens floodgates. Now we need to talk about the mistakes that sabotage preparation, even when people are doing everything right. The first fatal mistake is impatience. People start building their pillars and expect immediate external results. They meditate for a week and wonder why abundance hasn't appeared. They practice discipline for a month and get frustrated when transformation isn't complete. But Napoleon Hill taught that transformation operates on seasons, not schedules. You plant in spring. You don't harvest the next day. You water, you tend, you trust the process. And in the right season, harvest comes. Impatience makes people quit right before breakthrough. They abandon preparation 3 steps from the finish line because they can't see how close they are. The second fatal mistake is perfectionism. People think they need perfect clarity before acting, perfect circumstances before starting, perfect feelings before proceeding. But perfection is a trap that ensures nothing ever begins. Napoleon Hill emphasized definiteness of purpose, but also learn by doing. You don't need to see the whole staircase. You just need to take the first step, and that step reveals the next step. Progress is messy. Transformation is non-linear. Embrace imperfection while maintaining direction. Done is better than perfect. Moving is better than waiting. The third fatal mistake is isolation. People try to transform alone. They don't seek guidance. They don't share their journey. They don't ask for support. And they exhaust themselves trying to figure out what others could teach them in moments. Napoleon Hill discovered the principle of the mastermind for this exact reason. Transformation accelerates in community, not just any community. Aligned community, people who are also committed to growth, who hold you accountable, who celebrate your wins, who challenge your excuses, find your people, join groups. Hire mentors, invest in guidance. The cost of proper support is always less than the cost of years wasted trying to figure it out alone. The fourth fatal mistake is abandoning practice when life gets difficult. People build beautiful routines during easy seasons. Then challenge comes and everything falls apart. But this is exactly when practice matters most. Napoleon Hill maintained his disciplines through the Great Depression, personal losses, and countless setbacks. Not because he was superhuman, because he understood that discipline during difficulty is what creates breakthrough. When everything falls apart, your practices hold you together. When external chaos erupts, your internal structure keeps you stable. The moment you abandon your pillars is the moment you guarantee longer suffering. So right now, commit, not to perfection, to practice. Choose one element from each pillar and implement it this week. Mental clarity, 10 minutes of morning silence. Emotional sovereignty, pause and name emotions before reacting. Energetic discipline, remove one energy-draining element from your life. Aligned action, identify and complete one important task daily. Spiritual connection, 5 minutes of gratitude before sleep. Start there, build from there. And as these practices solidify, you'll notice something remarkable. The signs intensify, synchronicities multiply, opportunities appear, not because you're lucky, because you're prepared. And the universe rewards preparation with precision. Everything you've learned so far has been building to what comes next, because now we move from preparation to activation, from understanding to implementation, from theory to method. Napoleon Hill spent decades studying how successful people translate knowledge into results, and he discovered a specific sequence, a precise process, a method that, when followed exactly, produces transformation with remarkable consistency. And that method is what I'm about to reveal to you now. This is the moment everything comes together. You've seen the signs, you understand synchronicity, you've built your 5 pillars of preparation. Now we activate. Now we move from potential to manifestation. What I'm about to share with you is Napoleon Hill's method of conscious manifestation, refined through decades of studying those who transformed their lives completely. This isn't theory. This is the exact sequence that works when applied with commitment and consistency. 7 steps, each one critical, each one building on the previous. Miss one, and the process stalls. Follow all 7, and transformation becomes inevitable. Step 1. Crystallize your definite purpose. Not vague wishes, not general desires. Specific, clear, measurable intention. Napoleon Hill discovered that the universe cannot deliver to confusion. It responds to clarity with precision. So you must know exactly what you're creating. Not, I want to be successful, but I am building a business that generates X amount of monthly income serving Y audience with Z solution. Not, I want better relationships, but I am cultivating relationships characterized by mutual respect, deep connection, and aligned values. The more specific your purpose, the more precisely the universe can coordinate circumstances to support it. Write your definite purpose as a single statement. Present tense as if it already exists. I am, not I will be. This signals to your subconscious mind that this is current identity, not future possibility. Read this statement every morning upon waking and every evening before sleep. Speak it aloud. Let your voice carry the vibration into the physical world. This practice programs your subconscious mind, which then influences your conscious choices throughout the day. Within weeks, you'll notice yourself naturally making decisions that align with your stated purpose without conscious effort. Your mind begins reorganizing your entire life around this crystallized intention. Step 2. Establish your energetic exchange. Everything in the universe operates on circulation. You cannot just receive, you must also give. Napoleon Hill called this rendering useful service. You must determine what you will contribute in exchange for what you desire. If you want financial abundance, what value will you provide to the world? If you want meaningful relationships, what will you bring to those connections? If you want influence, how will you serve those you influence? This isn't transactional thinking. It's understanding that flow requires both giving and receiving. Stagnation comes from hoarding or from taking without contributing. Write a specific statement of your contribution. In exchange for the abundance I desire, I commit to providing exceptional value through my skills, knowledge, and service to others. Or whatever applies to your specific purpose. This statement shifts you from consumer mentality to creator mentality, from taking energy to circulating energy, And the moment you make this shift internally, the universe responds externally. Opportunities to contribute appear, platforms to serve emerge. Resources to give materialize, because the universe expands what it sees you willing to circulate. Step 3. Set your manifestation timeline. Napoleon Hill taught that deadlines create urgency that focuses the mind. Without a timeline, desire remains dream. With a timeline, desire becomes goal. Choose a specific date by which you will manifest your crystallized purpose, not arbitrary, but believable to your subconscious mind. If your subconscious rejects the timeline as impossible, it will sabotage your efforts. Choose a date that stretches you but doesn't break belief. 6 months, 1 year, 18 months. Whatever feels like a bold reach, but possible with focused effort. Write this timeline into your definite purpose statement. By specific date, I am your crystallized purpose. This creates a psychological container. Your mind now has parameters to work within. It begins calculating backward from the deadline, unconsciously organizing your priorities to meet that timeline. You'll find yourself naturally eliminating distractions, automatically saying no to what doesn't serve the timeline, intuitively recognizing which opportunities advance your purpose and which ones delay it. The timeline activates your mind's goal-seeking mechanism. Step 4. Create your daily activation ritual. This is where most people fail. They set beautiful intentions and do nothing daily to activate them. But manifestation requires consistent energy, feeding the desired outcome. Napoleon Hill practiced specific visualization twice daily, without exception. Morning and evening, 10 to 15 minutes each session. And this practice is what kept his mind locked onto his purpose, despite decades of challenges that could have derailed him. Here's the exact process. Find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Sit comfortably. Close your eyes. Take several deep breaths until your body relaxes and your mind settles. Then vividly imagine your crystallized purpose as already complete. Don't watch it like a movie. Experience it from inside. See what you would see. Hear what you would hear. Feel what you would feel. If your purpose involves financial abundance, feel the relief and security. See yourself making decisions from abundance. Hear yourself speaking with confidence. Engage all senses. Make it real in your mind. Stay in this state for at least 5 minutes. Let the feeling saturate every cell. Then, while still in this elevated state, speak your definite purpose statement aloud. Let the words combine with the feeling. This combination is what programs your subconscious mind most effectively. Feeling without words is just emotion. Words without feeling is just recitation. But feeling plus words creates the exact frequency that the universe responds to. Do this every morning before starting your day and every evening before sleep. Non-negotiable. This isn't extra. This is the work. Everything else is just activity. This is where transformation actually happens. Step 5. Take immediate aligned action. Manifestation is not passive visualization, hoping the universe delivers. It's active partnership between your effort and universal support. Napoleon Hill was emphatic. Faith without works is dead. You must take physical action toward your purpose every single day. Not massive action necessarily, but consistent, aligned action. Even small steps signal to the universe that you're serious, that you're not just imagining, you're demonstrating commitment through behavior. Ask yourself each morning, what is one action I can take today that moves me toward my crystallized purpose? Then do that action before anything else, before checking messages, before consuming content, before reacting to other people's agendas. Your priority action first. This practice compounds exponentially. One aligned action daily becomes 365 aligned actions yearly, and 365 aligned actions create transformation that seems miraculous to observers, but is simply the mathematical result of consistent compound effort. The universe supports those who prove through action, not just words, that they're committed. But here's the critical element most people miss. Inspired action versus forced action. Inspired action comes from intuition, from sudden insight, from impulses that feel right, even if they don't make logical sense. Napoleon Hill taught that when you practice your visualization ritual consistently, you'll begin receiving intuitive nudges throughout the day. A sudden urge to call someone, an impulse to attend an event, a feeling you should explore a specific opportunity. These nudges are the universe coordinating your path. Follow them, even when they seem random, especially when they seem random, because synchronicity often appears illogical until you look back and see how perfectly everything connected. Forced action is grinding without direction, pushing without inspiration, effort disconnected from intuition. It exhausts you and produces minimal results because you're working against the flow instead of with it. Learn to distinguish between the two. Inspired action feels energizing even if challenging. Forced action feels draining even if easy. Inspired action comes from quiet knowing. Forced action comes from anxious doing. Trust the difference. Move when inspiration strikes. Rest when force is all that remains. Step 6. Maintain unwavering faith through the gap. This is where most people quit. There's always a gap between beginning the process and seeing results. Days, weeks, sometimes months where you're doing everything right, but nothing seems to be changing externally. This gap is the testing period, the universe confirming whether you're serious or just dabbling, whether you'll persist or quit. Napoleon Hill called this the darkest hour before dawn, and he observed that most people quit during this hour, never knowing they were steps away from breakthrough. Unwavering faith doesn't mean blind optimism. It means continuing the process even when evidence hasn't appeared yet. It means maintaining your daily ritual when you don't feel like it. It means taking aligned action when doubt whispers you're wasting time. It means protecting your vision when circumstances contradict it. This is the true test of faith, not believing when you see results, but continuing when you don't. Because the gap is where character is built, where certainty is forged, where you become someone capable of sustaining the transformation you're calling in. During the gap, protect your mind fiercely. Don't share your process with skeptics. Don't consume content that contradicts your purpose. Don't entertain doubt through excessive analysis. Keep your vision sacred. Keep your practice consistent. Keep your faith intact. And know that everything unseen is arranging itself in perfect timing. The universe operates on divine timing, not human impatience. Your job isn't to understand the timing. Your job is to remain faithful to the process regardless of timing. Those who master this become unstoppable. Step 7. Practice radical gratitude before manifestation. Most people wait until they receive to be grateful. But Napoleon Hill discovered that gratitude before receiving is what accelerates receiving. It signals to the universe that you trust the process completely, that you're not hoping it works. You know it works. Gratitude before manifestation is the ultimate expression of faith, and it creates a frequency that magnetizes what you desire. Every day, spend time in gratitude for your crystallized purpose as if it already exists. Thank you for the abundance that flows to me now. Thank you for the relationships that elevate and inspire me. Thank you for the health and vitality I embody. Not future tense, present tense. Feel genuine gratitude as if it's already here. This isn't pretending. This is understanding that in the quantum field, all possibilities exist simultaneously. By choosing gratitude for a specific possibility, you collapse the wave function into that probability. You're not lying. You're selecting which timeline you're activating. Combine this gratitude with your visualization practice. After experiencing your purpose as complete, sit in profound gratitude for it. Let thankfulness fill your entire being. Speak it aloud. I am so grateful for this transformation. I am so grateful for this abundance. I am so grateful for this alignment. The more genuine the feeling, the more powerful the signal, and the universe responds to this frequency faster than any other. Gratitude before receiving is the master key that Napoleon Hill taught to every person who achieved extraordinary success through his methods. These 7 steps are not suggestions. They're the exact sequence that produces results when followed with commitment. And here's what Napoleon Hill discovered. Everyone who applied all 7 steps consistently achieved their crystallized purpose. Not sometimes, always. The only variable was timing. Some manifested in months, some in years. But everyone who followed the complete process eventually succeeded. The only people who failed were those who quit the process before completion, or those who skipped steps, thinking they knew better than the method. So, right now, make a decision. Will you commit to all 7 steps for the next 90 days minimum? Will you crystallize your purpose, establish your exchange, set your timeline, practice your ritual, take daily action, maintain faith through the gap, and embody gratitude before receiving? Because this is the commitment that changes everything. This is the point where you stop being interested in transformation and become committed to it. Interest quits when difficulty appears. Commitment persists until completion. And here's what happens when you commit fully. Within the first week, you'll notice subtle shifts. Your energy changes, your confidence strengthens, your clarity sharpens. Within the first month, you'll see synchronicities increase. Unexpected connections form, opportunities appear, resources materialize. Within 3 months, your life will look measurably different. The gap closes, evidence appears, transformation becomes undeniable, and everyone around you will wonder what changed. They'll call it luck, they'll call it timing, but you'll know the truth. You followed the method. You partnered with the universe. You became inevitable. Napoleon Hill taught thousands of people this exact process, and those who applied it completely achieved results that seemed impossible from their starting point, not because they were special, because they were committed, not because they had advantages, because they had discipline, not because circumstances favored them, because they aligned with universal law, and universal law never fails those who work with it correctly. Now, before we close, I need to address something important. Some of you are thinking, I'll start this later, or let me finish other things first, or I'll commit when circumstances improve. But that thinking guarantees nothing changes. The right time never arrives. Circumstances never perfect themselves. If you wait until you're ready, you'll wait forever. The universe doesn't require perfection. It requires decision. The moment you decide, really decide, resources appear, paths open, support arrives. But the universe cannot support indecision. It cannot coordinate circumstances for someone who hasn't committed to a direction. So decide now, right now, not after this video, not tomorrow, now. What is your definite purpose? What will you crystallize? What transformation are you calling in? And more importantly, will you commit to the 7-step process starting today? Because your life won't change through information. Your life changes through application. And application begins with decision. Everything else is just mental entertainment that changes nothing. Your next 90 days will pass regardless. The question is, will they be 90 days of the same patterns producing the same results? Or will they be 90 days of committed application producing measurable transformation? The choice is entirely yours, but understand clearly, the universe is watching. It's been showing you signs. It's been preparing you through everything you've experienced. It's been coordinating circumstances to bring you exactly here, to this moment, to this decision point. And now, it's waiting. Waiting to see if you'll honor the preparation by taking action. Waiting to see if you'll translate knowledge into commitment. Waiting to partner with you in creating the transformation you've been desiring. Don't make the universe wait any longer. Don't make yourself wait any longer. You've spent enough years hoping, wishing, wanting. Now is the time for deciding, committing, and becoming. The 7 steps are clear. The method is proven. The only variable is you, your willingness, your commitment, your faith. Everything else is already arranged. The universe has already coordinated what you need. It's simply waiting for you to step into alignment and claim it through consistent application of this process. Now you know. The signs have been revealed. The science of synchronicity explained, the preparation required clarified, and the exact 7-step method delivered. Napoleon Hill dedicated his life to discovering and teaching these principles, and now they're yours. But knowledge without action is just information that entertains and changes nothing. So here's your next step, and it's critical. Right now, pause this video if you need to. and write your definite purpose statement. One clear sentence describing exactly what you're manifesting. Write it in present tense as if it already exists. This is your first act of commitment. This is where transformation begins. Then in the comments below, write, "I commit to the 7-step process for the next 90 days. Not for me, for you." Because when you declare commitment publicly, you activate accountability. You tell your subconscious mind, this isn't casual interest, it's serious intention. And you signal to the universe that you're ready to partner in manifestation. Leave your like on this video now, because that simple action reinforces your decision neurologically. Your brain registers. I'm choosing growth. I'm aligning with transformation. Subscribe to this channel and activate notifications because you'll need consistent reminders as you walk this path. The 7-step process works, but it requires sustained focus. And these videos will help you maintain that focus when doubt creeps in or when the gap tests your faith. Here's your practical next step for today. Complete step 1 and step 2 before you sleep tonight. Crystallize your definite purpose and establish your energetic exchange. Write both statements clearly. Read them aloud. Feel them in your body. This takes 15 minutes maximum, but those 15 minutes could define your next decade. Tomorrow morning, begin your visualization ritual. Set your alarm 15 minutes earlier. Sit in silence. Visualize your purpose complete. Feel it fully. Speak your statement. Then take one aligned action before noon. Just one. This is how you begin. This is how transformation becomes real. You didn't find this video by accident. The universe guided you here precisely when you needed this information. You've been shown the signs. You've been given the method. Now it's time to honor that guidance with action. Remember, the universe rewards those who demonstrate commitment through behavior, not those who simply consume information. You have everything you need. The question is, will you use it? Your transformation begins now, not someday. Not when circumstances align. Now, with a decision, with a commitment, with the first step of crystallizing your purpose. Everything else will unfold from there. The universe will meet you at every step when you prove you're serious. And 90 days from now, you'll look back at this moment as the turning point. The moment you stopped hoping and started manifesting. The moment you stopped waiting and started creating. The moment everything changed because you decided it would. Go now. Write your purpose, make your commitment, take your first action, and trust completely that the universe is already responding to your decision. You are not alone in this. You are supported by infinite intelligence that wants your success as much as you do. All you must do is align with it through the 7-step process and watch as your life transforms in ways you never imagined possible. This is your time. This is your moment. The universe has shown you everything you need to see. Now show the universe what you're capable of becoming. Go create your transformation, and may your journey be exactly what your soul has been calling for.